Mrs. Yarrodaber.
Ave Satanas! Hail Patron!
Greetings, heathens. Welcome to another episode of Hail Satan. This is a podcast exploring Satanism, culture, and life in general through the eyes of modern Satanists. I am Joseph Rose. I'm a member of the Satanic Temple and founder of Satanic Delco.
And I'm the guest today. My name is Jerry Wood.
Welcome back, Jerry. How's it going?
It's a pleasure to be back. Thank you for having me.
Are you going to be on your best behavior today?
Today, I'm not going to use profanity.
Why?
Oh, it's just, it's for the uneducated.
What, Jerry?
For the uneducated, for the one who cannot formulate thoughts in a proper fucking fashion, because I can't
You
right
just
now. I
did
just
it.
cursed.
You just did it.
Thank you for having me,
You
Joseph.
leaned on that crutch.
I tried so hard not to.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me. This is wonderful.
You got it.
And I love the tenor of this. I enjoy the intro.
It is a sweet
really
intro,
do.
right?
What is that guy saying at the end?
He's saying, Hail Satan.
Backwards?
Don't worry about that, Jerry.
All right.
It's none of your goddamn business. Guys, Jerry's been on the show once before, right? I think people enjoyed you on the show.
Right. We discussed.
I got a couple nice messages giving feedback about your appearance on the show.
Some of my friends were interested as well. I have some friends who are part of the satanic aspect of life.
It's weird hearing you speak in this tone of voice.
Because this
the way
is
you are right
tenor
now
of the show.
It is.
Because our other one, it's nothing but filth and fury, a lot of anger going back and forth. Joseph is naturally curious about things that I find
sure
sacred. His zeal for life and information is sometimes offensive.
Speaking of zeal, Jerry, today on the show, we're going to have a fun little musical detour today. We're going to have a more casual episode. I think that's how I described the first episode when you were on the show.
Right.
Jerry is our casual episode man.
Right.
And today we're going to do some music. We're going to listen to the band Zeal and Ardor.
Mm-hmm. And it was the first time I said Zeal, but I've been calling him Neil.
Neil and Zardor.
Neil
I
and
think you
Ardor
called them.
all week.
Yeah. Jerry has just a slight case of the dyslexia, perhaps, or something.
It is absolutely full force with me.
Full force. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a bit of a musical episode. We're going to listen to Zeal and Ardor. They recently back in October, I think, they released an EP called Wake of a Nation that got my attention right away. I was already a fan of their music, and I was pretty excited to have a new EP, so we're going to dig into that. Before that, we're going to do some of the normal business. We have some new patrons that have signed up with the show. We're going to mention those guys. We've got a few. Let's see. Benjamin Saravia. Thank you, Benjamin. We've got a Krista Bustos.
Bustos. I love the names here.
Let's hear it, Jerry. Give that one a shot.
Krista Bustos.
We have a Cinema Eulogies.
Cinema Eulogies.
All right.
What?
We've got Nicholas George.
I'm not... Cinema Eulogies. Is this a website?
Surely it is.
Cinema Eulogies.
Yeah.
Like the death
Check
of
'em out.
cinema. I'm going to.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
We've got Nicholas George.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. And we've got my man, Ian Palma, a member of Satanic Delco, signing up on the old Patreon to help support this thing.
Right.
Thank you guys all very much, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever else you may be, in the case of Cinema Eulogies.
I have never met an Ian that didn't lack confidence. Always very confident.
Oh, really?
Ians are confident people.
Okay.
That's how
How many Ians do you know?
I know too many.
Really? You know quite a few.
Lots of Ians. Like
Really?
4 or 5. My wife's cousin, very confident man. I've met a man who I used to frequent bars with, Ian, and he would consistently, what's the word? I'm not trying to curse. Penis block me.
Jerry, you can say anything you want.
Cock block.
Yeah, we
So
can
there
say
was a lot of cock blocking.
any version of that,
Cock
any way you
blocking.
want.
So Ian was very good at that, and he would cock block so well that he would leave.
You
and
love
use,
saying it
and
now.
use his cock.
Cock.
I say it a lot. Like if I'm upset,
Cock.
I heard it on Sopranos, and Uncle Junior sat down in a leather chair, and he was like, "Ugh, cock," and I was like, "I'm gonna do that all the time. I'm gonna make it work."
You want to be like Junior Soprano. Of all the characters to be like.
Yeah, Junior work.
He's the one that works for you.
Bobby Baklava.
All right. Well, thank you guys sincerely for signing up on the Patreon along with all the other people. It is very kind, and I appreciate it sincerely very, very much. We've got some listener mail. Jerry, you ready for this? You want to hear some little messages?
I love it.
I get a lot of messages on this show, which I really appreciate, and we're going to dig into a few of them. We've got Antonio Varela. I think he's one of our patrons. He says, "Hey guys, I'm a 23-year-old active duty Marine. I've been an atheist for about 3 years, and after discovering your podcast and watching the Hail Satan film, I realized how my beliefs and moral code aligned with the Satanic Temple. Please keep up the awesome content. Hail Satan, hail thyself."
And thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you very much, Antonio. We've got one from Haley. She writes in, "Hello, I'm Haley. I'm 14, and I've been registered in the Satanic Temple for a little more than a month. I found out about it through social media during quarantine and have been interested ever since. The podcast has helped me learn a lot. I love it. My family is pretty Christian, and I know they would not be accepting if they found out I'm a Satanist. My grandpa, for example, won't even say the devil's name. Just wanted to give my feedback and share my story. Have a great day."
Wow. That's powerful, man.
It is, man. I'm always on the fence because I've gotten a good handful of messages from people that are quite young, teenagers. I think we did one on the show recently of someone that was 13, I think it was. And, I'm always on the fence. Like, there's no harm there. I mean, there's nothing weird. They didn't write anything weird or private or anything like that. I guess it's fine for a 14-year-old to send an email. It's fine for a 14-year-old to listen to a podcast.
These children have access to a lot of devices. At 14, she mentioned the quarantine, and we'll go over into their age, but do you find membership to be not exploding, but is it up? The quarantine, people have a lot of time to think, and they're sitting and they're looking, and a lot of these people are going through existential crisis.
Yeah, I don't know what it is for other people or organizations as a whole, but the feedback that I've gotten directly from this podcast is a ton of people that are brand new to Satanism as a whole. Mm-hmm. They are just discovering the Satanic Temple. They may just be discovering the idea of Satanism at all. And in some cases, they're pretty young. Not always, but people are at least very young in their journey with Satanism, for sure.
And they're finding themselves. So this is, they're heady. The tenets are pretty. They're heady and decent rules to live by.
For sure.
So like 14. If you just look at it and you cut like everything out of it, and just look at that direction, it's a good way to live.
Yeah, if you were a person, a young teenager, let's say, and you run into those 7 tenets, and for whatever reason they get your attention and feel meaningful to you, and feel like something you want to align yourself with, I think they're a pretty nice general moral code to live by. If you were a person who could actually find those things at an early age and stick to them for the rest of your life, man, that'd be pretty nice.
It would be the world would be a different place. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think there'd be anything to worry about there.
You wouldn't be judgy. You wouldn't be being judged by a certain like thing on top of you. Like the 10 Commandments are unique and a good way to live on occasion, but I can't help but look at someone's wife. They're hot, but then you've sinned, and it hurts. It's science-based, which I enjoy heavily. Again, also not really affiliated with it, but to have a 14-year-old person in any form, going through all these weird feelings, and they found something, that's pretty admirable. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I feel good about what we're doing here, so I don't have any kind of worries or I don't know, what would I have? Some kind of regret or caution or anything. I don't feel like I'm going to send a message out through this podcast that's going to be harmful or dangerous or the wrong thing somehow for a teenager.
They actively rage against it. Don't harm people.
Yeah, so I don't worry about that.
Awesome.
Fuck it.
Well, Haley, thank you.
Haley, good on you.
Yeah.
Thank you for writing in. I hope you enjoy the show and keep doing what you're doing, I suppose. We've got one last one from a Mr. Miles Kalbach. I think he is one of our patrons as well. He writes in, "Hello again. In a couple of episodes, you've made passing remarks about your experiences with psychedelics and or psilocybin. I've heard enough about them over the years to know that there's something I definitely will be trying, but rarely have I heard from someone whose experiences with drugs and general outlook on life seems to closely mirror my own. I also only really started using weed in my mid-30s. Drug use is less of a nostalgic trip for me and more of a mind exploration tool. I'd love to hear more about your experiences with them. How have you used them? What do you perceive are some of the lasting effects they've had on you so far? Thank you for that message, Miles. That is a wild can of worms right there. Let me give you a very shortened, glossed over answer, because I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I do plan on doing an episode on this topic. A topic that really has interested me, that I want to pursue somehow, is the intersection of psychedelics and my satanic philosophy, I guess.
You started in these like Miles did. You started at an older age.
Yeah.
Like when I did all of these things, and we've talked before, I have real preconceived notions about
Yes.
these things, almost a fear of them anymore because of what I did in my 20s. I didn't have unresolved issues or what have you.
Yeah, I never did anything. I was straight edge, like literally completely straight edge. No beer, no cigarette, no joint, no nothing until age 37.
Wow.
And I still don't consume alcohol. So my experience has been very limited and
Super different.
and very later in life, I guess.
It's significantly different. So like Miles is doing it later, and he says it's not a retro trip.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, if I smoke cannabis, there's a ritual to it, and it does sort of bring me back to a different time. Like you get the record out, you're breaking it now. There's no seeds anymore because weed's now
Right.
weed's not weed anymore.
Weed's a lot better.
It's a lot better, and so you just roll up a joint. There's a ritual, there's a practice, and it's nice that you're doing, even if the weed sucks.
See that, Jerry? You love rituals.
I do like the ritual of what I used to do, and yeah. Well, okay, well, I like
What?
rolling a
What?
joint.
Don't be ashamed. I'm on your team, brother. I'm with you.
There's a rolling of a joint ritual to it all, but he didn't have that, and
Yeah.
he's
Jerry, they like to call that the devil's lettuce. Mm-hmm. You have a whole ritual around your consumption of the devil's lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
It's a satanic ritual.
Is it now?
It is.
The zigzag.
Yeah.
So zigzag.
You're goddamn right. That's Jerry's satanic ritual.
Yeah.
See, I knew you were a Satanist,
I
man.
have an idea. I mean,
I know.
if that beat played the whole time, I'd roll a Titus joint.
Hell yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, see, that'd be a nice. You could definitely chill to that.
We'll do that
to
on
that
our other.
jam.
We'll do that on our other one day.
Maybe
on
I
the
should
other.
expand that intro song.
You
Build
should
a,
make a
build a
3-minute
full
version
song
of it.
out of that.
Put a 3-minute version of it on YouTube, and it will work.
Let you spit some verses over that thing.
Yeah, I only know one verse.
Right. So Miles, to sort of simplify my response to your question, like I said, I do plan to do an episode on that. I don't know what that's going to be yet or when that's going to be, but I'm working on it. The effect that these substances have had for me have been, I don't know how to put it other than life altering. Like truly, I typically view my life now as pre-cannabis and psychedelics and post-cannabis and psychedelics. I found that they caused a noteworthy change in my life. And I don't know exactly how obvious that is to the other people around me, although I think it probably is to some degree. I know people in my life that have sort of commented to that effect, like, oh, you're more this way now since that. But I've found them to be extremely positive. Like you said, I wasn't necessarily just entering into it for shits and giggles. It wasn't nostalgic for me because I never did it, although nostalgia becomes a thing with weed for me. But needless to say, I'll just leave it at they've been really positive for me. They've caused changes in my outlook and feelings about a lot of things. And believe me, it's a topic that I can and probably will at some point speak about at great length.
And I would say the tenor of the show and all that stuff, and you're very good at this. You won't shut up about it. I mean, you're very respectful, but you love that stuff. You like the idea of bringing it to people and opening minds. And I've had a rough go with it. I said I resisted, but he's very convincing. And I was able to actually, for me personally, get back into it without having, really any problems, and I always I feared that trip. I've had some real
what
bad
Jerry
trips.
is getting at is that he had experiences with different drugs and some
Horrendous.
psychedelics as a very young man, and some of them didn't go so well.
Oh, it went badly.
Yeah.
It went south.
And then
real
you
quick.
were without them for quite a while.
And I was like,
And
I was
then
cool with that.
certain people in your life may have helped to reintroduce them at a much later age.
Yes, at much later age.
And you've found that as an older man, so far your experiences have been much more positive.
I think if I had done what I'm listening to music, being in the correct environment, it's setting and
Set and setting. Yeah.
and I've been in a correct setting more often than not recently.
Yeah.
So
And that helps a lot.
it super helps. And
Yeah.
you come up with some things. I've done some things recently where I was like, I'm just going to quit my job, and I did. And then I got that, and then I had to get my job back. But it opened me up. Like I was like, maybe I do need to change some things. It's just, you gotta but it's good that you didn't do it earlier.
Thank you, Jerry. Miles, thank you very much for the question. I know that was sort of a half-assed answer to your question, but it is a topic that really, really interests me, and I have definite plans to delve into it at length. So thank you. We will get to it. Everybody, take a moment, if you can, please. Stop on by hailsatanpodcast.com. You'll find links to our social media there, a form to send us an email, which you should do. Everybody's been sending a ton of lovely feedback about the show and insight into their personal lives and journeys into Satanism and all of that kind of stuff. And we love hearing those messages and sharing them. So keep them coming. You can also find a link to our Patreon account over there where you can directly support the show and get a bit of bonus content. We offer some discounts on things. So go check it all out if you have a moment at hailsatanpodcast.com. Have you been there, Jerry?
I have.
Okay.
I was given free money, and you can expect the same thing at Hail Satan Podcast.
I think that's a different website, Jerry. What?
Oh, my bad.
Guys, today we're talking about the band Zeal and Ardor. We're going to talk about their newest EP. It's called Wake of a Nation. First, let's get into some information. Zeal and Ardor is a Swiss avant-garde metal band started and led by Swiss-American musician Manuel Gagnon. Formed in 2013, the band mixes sounds of African-American spirituals with black metal. According to press, the central idea behind Zeal and Ardor's blues, metal, satanic gospel blend is the question of what would have happened if the slaves of the Deep South turned to Satan instead of God. It is the music of the oppressed refusing to submit to the oppressor's God, and as such, it is an excellent soundtrack for satanic ideals.
And it's almost cinematic in its idea,
It's wild.
That could
It's
have
a wild
that
concept.
could have easily have happened. Had happened. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. There's other
Just
idols
when
in there,
I
but like,
first heard that, I read that description. Lucian Greaves, of course, the spokesperson for the Satanic Temple, co-founder, he had a list of 5 or 10 songs or bands that were on his radar that he wanted to recommend, and Zeal and Ardor were one of those. And that may have been my first exposure. I don't remember if that's true. It probably is. And when I read just that description of what the band was doing, I was immediately like, whatever the fuck that is, I want to hear it right now. Let's get a hold of this thing. In October of 2020, the band released the Wake of a Nation EP. Gagnon wrote the songs in direct response to the murder of George Floyd earlier in 2020. Gagnon explained the EP in the announcement. Wake of a Nation's intent and context should be obvious. I like to revel in ambiguity and in room for interpretation. This is not the case here. These 6 songs are a knee-jerk reaction to what has happened to my fellow people in the last months. Originally, I was set to record an album scheduled to come out next year. As these songs were written due to the horrendous events that instilled them, I decided to release them as soon as possible. Using the rich heritage and culture as part of my musical identity, it felt like a cowardice to sit by and to continue with my routine as if nothing had happened. This record is for Michael Brown, Eric Garner, George Floyd, and the countless untold and nameless killed. It is for the brave souls willing to take a stand and ready to risk their own well-being so that others may have theirs intact. Pretty intense shit.
It's super intense, and we do this on other. We cover a lot of music in our other thing, and there's not a lot that's as heady as this.
Yeah. So here's how this is going to go, guys, just in case you're not familiar. We're going to play you this entire EP right now. And when I say play it for you, we're going to play it for ourselves, and we're going to talk over it whenever we feel like it. We're not going to make it a point to constantly talk over it, but we're not going to hold back, and we're going to talk over it.
Right.
So let's all listen in together.
A little bit of reverence in this one, though.
I mean, this is some wild shit, so we're going to want to listen. Track number 1 is called Vigil.
You took all we had away. You quit to call it sick, but we've been damned to say I can't breathe, it's a cell phone, please don't shoot. I need to get home, I'm on my knees, baby, please.
It's already intense as fuck, right?
They just keep fighting on us. How many more will last? My nations take over.
It's I worked in the inner city for quite some time.
Yeah.
And there is a difference, and it was significant to me then. And almost at the time, I felt safe. Like I can't imagine having the same type of like terror that people have to the authority. There is a white privilege.
Yeah,
and
I was
it's
going to say
very
that
real.
that's white privilege.
And I worked in West Philly for a very long time. I knew I could walk out. I had cops pull guns on me, but I never once hiccuped. I just assumed that they were just scared and let it be. But when an African American man, the guy that I was usually with, one of the people I worked with, they would lose their shit. Like, okay, you know. I mean, but it happened all the fucking time.
Yeah, wildly different experiences.
Super, super different. And that's one of the things when I heard we were doing this album, I was like, man, you know, you want to recognize your position in life and you want to be a man of the people, but I don't think I'll ever have to talk to my daughter about how to treat the police.
Right.
Like, just listen to what they say. That might not always work.
Yeah.
You know, so they have. Some people have to talk to their kids about dealing with the police a lot different than how I have to talk to my daughter.
For sure.
I think Greg Popovich said the Spurs said that. That's sports. That's sports knowledge
We
right
won't
there.
talk sports on here.
Oh, okay.
That's forbidden. It's a fascinating listen, right? It's incredible,
intense, man.
And guys, if you're new to this band, just hold on to your ass because shit's gonna change a bit.
It's not the normal grunge thing. That's for sure. There's no Bjork on this.
Track 2 is called Tuskegee.
As in the Airmen?
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
You see, I love the coupling here.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about how much I enjoy black metal. I love the sludgy sound of black metal. Some would call it stoner rock. Like, when they slow down, when they stop doing this,
Yeah.
the double bass and all that other stuff. But when it breaks down, that's when I love my black metal. That whole, and if he has keyboards in this, even better.
Oh yeah, they do for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah,
right?
it's so cool.
That's awesome.
I want more of that. And this is the same man who sang that
Yes.
original.
So this song is a direct reference to the Tuskegee syphilis study conducted between 1932 and 1972 in Tuskegee, Alabama. A total of 600 African American patients were invited to participate in a study and told they would be given free health care. They were given placebos, were not told of their diagnosis, and the study was extended from 6 months to 40 years.
Oh,
the
God.
purpose of the study was to examine the effects of allowing syphilis to go untreated.
Oh,
Yeah.
did they have Al Capone for that?
Pretty ridiculous, cruel shit.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
What? And I know you have listeners in Alabama, and I'm sure they're sick of it. What the fuck, Alabama?
Well, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what is going on? When you think of like some backwoods shit, and I know that not all people from Alabama are like this, but fuck, man, it's always Alabama. Roll Tide. Do you think, besides this insane subject, do you think it takes talent to do that noise, to sing? And I hear it a lot. I listen to Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth. That sound.
Listen, it's an isolated skill.
right.
You know, it's an isolated skill. And
Like, this is singing.
I don't feel impressed by him because he can do that. I feel impressed by him because he can do all of the things
what I'm
that he
saying.
does
Yeah.
and use them as these individual tools in this wild, varied toolbox that he has. And you know, I'm having a glance at these lyrics while the song is playing, and it's powerful. I mean, I really urge you guys, if the sound of this stuff interests you at all, obviously go listen to this EP and do yourself a favor and read along with the lyrics while you listen, because it's powerful, man. This guy really put together some powerful shit here.
I know. And
I know that wasn't the most nuanced description,
powerful stuff.
but it's great. I mean, he really is writing some intense songs, and the aesthetic is there to match.
right. And I just tepid. I like. What am I going to say about this?
Yeah.
This confronts you, and there's not a lot of music that does that well.
Yeah.
Like even Public Enemy did it for me as a child. I was a big Public Enemy fan. But like it was in a bubble. Now that we're seeing all of this stuff, I love this. I love this song, by the way.
This is track 3, At the Seams.
I love this. But this makes me feel like that things need to change.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not a lot of music
Yeah.
right now that does it for me.
Yeah, this one is a very potent, direct response,
and
like he described.
And I feel like it's sort of like my fault for not paying attention. And that's what this does to me. And the reason I bought the EP is because it made me feel that way.
This one.
The whole thing made me feel something. And you know, we talk about music often. Not a lot does that for me.
Yeah, sure.
Instrumentals do it because I can just
Well,
put my
and
own
frankly,
meaning to it.
you know as well as anyone, I love music the most.
Yeah.
Music is my shit, you know? And what I don't often love in my music is direct politics. I don't love that. Now, there are exceptions. Like, I love Rage Against the Machine. I have a fucking
it.
Rage Against the Machine
Mine
tattoo.
was Public Enemy.
You know, I love that. But generally speaking, I don't need a ton of overt politics in my music.
It's one of the problems I have with Neil Young. Like I just
Sure.
I'm sick of you, man. Whatever. You benefit.
But in this case,
know.
it's so potent and just so well crafted. It's perfect.
it needed and it
And
urges.
just the sound of it is so fucking wild.
well, the mixture, like
Yeah.
the slave, you know, that ambiance, and then black metal.
Yeah.
2 + 2 doesn't always equal 4, man.
Yeah, he nailed it. He really nailed it.
I just, you know what I don't want, and this is one of the reasons I had the album, is that we're such a temporary, we're news cycle people now. And you don't
Right.
want this to fall out of the news cycle. This has to be addressed.
It's nowadays it's unavoidable. You know, it's just
Yeah.
the way it is.
They think
you know,
they-
one story to the next, to the next,
to the next. And say this pandemic ends, and the attention in the microscope goes away.
Yeah.
Well, what's left? Well, this has to be a reminder of what is left. You have to face this. And there's so much pushback for what seems so sensible, is to give people equal rights.
Unfortunately, change on a grand scale, on a national level, especially when it's a change of the attitudes of the people, is just so slow. It's so slow, no matter what it is.
I think you can reach one person, but a mob is absolutely incapable of understanding anything, you know? Jesus, listen to this. Even take away the message. This is fucking badass. Yeah. I want to walk into a room with this shit.
Jerry is getting pumped here.
I love this song. So simple, almost Carpenter-esque. But you know, Carpenter, Halloween type shit.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for knowing.
Track number 4, I Can't Breathe.
Joseph has a great way of understanding when I'm wrong, but understanding what I'm getting
I always
at.
know what Jerry meant to say.
It's also one of the things I like EPs in a whole, because they put the best of the best.
I really do as well. I don't think enough like bigger bands make EPs.
Like this is a winner,
Yeah.
all the way through. I mean,
I'd rather than wait, 6 years for the new album of 12 songs. I'd rather wait, 2 or 3 years and give me 5 or 6 great new songs. I'd love that.
who does
I'd love
that well? Who does that very well? So Alice in Chains did that really well.
Yeah, they did. They had a couple great EPs.
great
at least,
EPs.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish more big bands that I love would do an EP. It doesn't happen very much.
Hip hop, it's mixtapes.
Right.
They not out here. They don't give a damn. They not out here.
Great use of samples.
Just sort of a instrumental
interlude
there. Track number 5. Oh wait. Yeah. Track number 5. This one's Trust No One.
Yeah, this sealed it for me. You're never coming home.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh. But even still, you take the fucking lyrics away, this shit's great. And to keep the lyrics in, it's important. But like left in a where it's at, music's great too. I wish there was more of a intelligent critique of this album I could do.
I mean it's just both are great and both together are greater.
It's not a bubblegum album though. Not something you put on.
No, this is a short burst of some potent shit.
It's that thing, that clear EKG. What is that thing where the paddles come out?
Yes,
and then the
I know
electric
exactly
clear.
what you mean,
You know that.
What
That's
the hell
this
is that thing called? I forget.
There's a word for it.
There is.
The shocky thingy, the clear thingy.
Yes, that.
They have them everywhere in malls.
Yeah.
My daughter took gymnastics and there was one. And man alive, it took all of me not to touch that thing.
Yeah.
Rub the gel, and
I'm gonna try and get one on eBay. I'm gonna hook you up with it.
Thanks.
I'm gonna give you the old paddles.
Oh, I don't need them. My heart is
Well, we'll make
not
sure.
strong enough for that. They don't need the gel anymore. I used to put gel on.
Oh,
them.
no more?
I was talking to a doctor about it. That we don't use the gel.
Why
I
not?
was like, what the fuck? Well, what's the fun? I need the gel. How does the electric get through or something, you know?
Jerry's out of control.
How do magnets work? If I could make this noise myself, I think I'd be better off. At least I have some level of talent. If I could do the and not bleed from the mouth.
I'd be more gnarly if you were bleeding from the mouth.
That'd be cooler.
Yeah.
But like, I don't. That's damage.
Now, you said you were a bit of a fan of black metal.
Mm-hmm.
I am not really. Like, there is very little music out there with the real growly vocals like that I get into. Very little. A few select albums.
I can't ever say that it's the lyrics or the music or the singer. It's
You just like
always
the sound.
keyboard.
Right.
If you have a keyboard and this type of guitar sound, you got me.
But in the context of this, like when these guys do it, I'm into it. I don't know.
Because it's not the only thing you're hearing.
Yeah, I like the mix. I like the
You're
combination of the sounds that they bring together.
not hearing 13 songs of this.
Right.
And
That
that,
would
that
be-
I can understand.
Yeah, that would not work for me.
Because right here, when I listen to black metal, I only hear this part.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
7 minutes into the song usually. You know? And I brought up the two big ones, the Demu Borgir and Cradle of Filth, and I'm sure there's other ones that I can't think of
for
off the
sure.
top of my head right now. Cradle of Filth had the most interesting shirts, that's for sure. Real profane shit.
All right, guys, this is the last song, track number 6, Wake of a Nation.
Little stomp.
We brought you up, we bring you down. We're riling up. We're riling up. This American carcass. Seconds, don't fall asleep. The wake of a nation. Wake of a nation. The king is dead.
Oh shit.
I mean,
How much time did this guy have to do this? Not a lot. It was just right, like, I'm just gonna do this. I can't do
well, like he said, he just started, he was working on an album, but he didn't want to wait around and like fit it into a larger album. It was like, this is what's on my mind right now. This is what's relevant right now. Let's just get it out.
Oh my God.
Get it going.
What's on my mind, no one wants to hear. And it won't be half as good as this.
True.
True.
Just kidding, Jerry. It might be. Give it a shot.
I don't know. Yeah. It is a series of clicks and beeps.
Give it a shot, Jerry.
Yeah. Everybody, I don't want to wake up at 7 a.m. No one will care about what I'm saying. I'm glad he used the word caucus. It's not used enough. In music, at least. I would love to see this live.
Oh, I have seen some incredible live videos of these guys. I've never seen them in person, but I've found some, I think right on their YouTube channel, maybe, their official channel, they've got some like pro shot videos from like a live DVD or something that they had done, and it was good as fuck.
I just want to hear this live. I want to hear that part live because it sounds like it goes right through your body.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, that's cool. This is an experience and a half right here.
We're coming to a close here, guys. Whoa. And just like that. The end. What do you think of that shit, Jerry?
I feel guilty.
Guilty?
I feel guilty.
What are you guilty of?
I'm just wrong.
What?
It's wrong. Everything's wrong.
I'm sorry, Jerry.
I need to be out there. I
didn't even mention.
I need to be doing something.
I didn't even mention, guys, the album cover for this thing is noteworthy. It is an inverted cross formed by 2 police batons, right? Look at that shit, Jerry.
Billy clubs.
Powerful. Right down to the simple image on the cover. Make no mistake.
There's not a lot to it. And they didn't kill us with another, like, I'm going to throw another 3 songs on this. Every one of those things makes you think. And everyone has, it's you take a ride, and it's unresolved. There's no end to the story. Like, I can listen to The Wall, I'm like, oh, at least that's over. You know, this is something that's happening in real life right now. And it was too quick, too fast, and it was too well done to not make you feel something. So,
This is an art project. It doesn't feel overly commercial in any way. I mean, not like an album that sounds like this really would be, no matter what. But like he explained in his statement, you know, it was a time and a place. It was lightning in a bottle. This is relevant right now. This is what I'm feeling. This is what's happening in my world. And I have to say something about it. And I have to say it right now.
it just happens that it's always going to be relevant, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'd like to think that that isn't the case. But, you know, like we said, change is slow. Although, you know, I want to believe, I think I believe that change is happening and moving in the right direction.
For sure.
It's just so painfully slow. It is frustrating, and it's a constant state of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's just the way it feels, you know, and that's a bummer. But still, I do think under there that we're moving in a positive direction.
Trying to, at least.
I think so.
We would say one person at a time. But if you can go out, go to the website, download the EP, buy this EP. It's fantastic.
Check this out, guys, and do yourself a favor. Like I said, just check out the lyrics while you give it a listen. That really completes the package.
It's not expensive.
Well, it's an EP, yeah.
it's
And what the
relatively
hell,
cheap.
nowadays, everybody's with the streaming music anyway.
Yeah.
So go ahead, fire it up on your
This is
Spotify.
somebody I wanted to support, though.
Yeah.
I wanted to give monies to this.
Yeah.
Because I listen to a lot of bands. I'm like, I ain't paying for that shit.
Yeah, I own some of their stuff on vinyl.
Yeah.
I like it. I haven't got this one on vinyl yet, but I do plan to
Support
pick it up.
this artist, not Skid Row.
Okay, Jerry. One last time, guys, if you got a moment, try and remember to stop by hailsatanpodcast.com and, link up with us on social media and all that other stuff. And look, if you guys dig an occasional musical episode like this, let me know. Let me know how you feel about it, and drop a line about some of your favorite maybe satanic albums, whatever that means to you. Satanic albums can mean a lot of different things to different people.
A lot of great satanic songs I like.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
if you have anything that's somehow related in some way, drop me a line. Let me know what you might like us to cover, and maybe we'll check it out. I think there's more of this in our future for sure.
Oh, yeah.
More of these music flavored episodes.
That subject deserves a lot of attention in music.
It should be said that I bet so many people's first introduction, one way or another, to Satanism comes through music.
For me, it did.
I think mine was.
Mine was, but then it was cemented in watching a Christian. I was at Sunday school, and it was a Christian documentary about I think I might have even brought this up before, but it was like the pull of Satan in music. And I remember,
Oh, yeah.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood was one that was one. I was like, that's not
Really?
true. But it started off with
Sure.
Sabbath.
Yeah, I can get it. Yeah.
But Frankie Goes to Hollywood was like, well, no, I like Frankie Goes to. Don't relax.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Why shouldn't I listen to that? Thank you for joining us today, guys. As usual, we'll talk to you again soon. Stay safe out there. Hail Satan.
Stå av med skydden etter. I hvor fly ser vi